Lethal Company is a multiplayer horror video game, mouthful, developed by Zeekerss, which drops 2023 this year. The game follows a group of people, or just one person if you're sad and alone, as they go out and explore foreign moons, scavenging for scraps in a desperate attempt to satisfy their corporate quota. Now I could talk about how the game is an apt analogy for a capitalist society, but that's not the type of channel I am, and frankly, no one gives a shit. You're here for the funnies and the screams, so let's just get into what makes the game great. While you could play in public lobbies, why the fuck would you do that? The game is at its best when it's played with a group of friends. Quick tip here, drop an IQ test before you invite your friends to play, because this is the type of game that reveals who are the actual critical thinkers and who are the ones who drool at corners and make potato drawings in their spare time.
We're in your balls, I'm coming for your cock!
Guys, there's something funny for her, look. Run round this corner as fast as you can, without looking at the floor.
I'm about to go as fast as you can.
Without looking at the floor, without looking at the floor, without looking at the floor. Over here, run. There's something epic, there was something epic.
Well, everyone just died. Like every single person on the same landmine just died. They're gonna need to bring their bodies back to base. Like, they're all dead. There are countless ways to fuck your fellow crewmates over. While you may be led to falsely believe that your greatest threat are the demon creatures that will maul you to death, it is in fact your Discord friend Drewy, who will lock you outside the ship and beat you to death with a shovel when you're not looking. Still, the game is almost unbeatable by yourself, so you need your group's average IQ to rise over 100, even if temporarily, to make it through. Whether it be staying at the ship to help your teammates navigate, or using the teleporter to pull someone out of a rough situation, you'll need to rely on each other to make it to the next day and meet the quota. Else, the last thing you'll share is a cold, dying embrace in the empty vacuum of space. In my opinion, there are two types of enemy dynamics in video games. Top of the food chain dynamics, where the player might start off meek and killable by goblins or something, but by the end of the game, they'll be able to treat Gargon, Eater of Worlds, like a punching bag. And then there are bottom of the food chain dynamics, where enemies can dog you down at any time they feel like it, even kill you if they tap you once, and most of the time, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it but scream like a bitch and run for your life. And that's why Lethal Company is so good. The thing about top of the food chain games is that eventually you reach the point where encounters get stale, as you learn to obliterate every enemy instantly with your stupid massive numbers. But no matter how good you get at a game like Lethal Company, the Forest Keeper is still going to chow you down instantly like a pit bull walking into a daycare. So, no matter the encounter, there will always be an element of fear, tension, and uncertainty, keeping the game fresh and exciting.
Doggy, come here.
The monsters themselves are very SCP-esque in the way that each are unique and follow their own set of rules on how you approach them. You typically don't defeat them by whacking them to death with a shovel. I mean, you can, for some, but that will only take you so far, you know? You're not gonna beat the Dune sandworm to death, basically. You need to know the method to escape, so you know which interactions are winnable and which guys you just need to run away from. Now, I've tried to avoid spoiling in this video because honestly, this is the type of game you want to go into completely blind. If you watch tutorials or guides on moons or monsters, then you're kind of ruining it for yourself by spoiling the fun. Thus, these tips are made to help you start off the game, not ruin the fun of learning to conquer it yourself. Tip number 1. While it may be tempting to run away at all times, you do have to interact with the monsters to scan them. The thing about scanning is that it requires the object to be an eye shot, and if you're running in the other direction from the demon that just popped out from the door, you won't be able to scan it. Knowledge is power, and you instantly get an info dump about creatures from one good scan of them. So don't forget to face off with them to learn more. Tip number 2. When collecting scraps, it's better to dump them outside the main entrance rather than going all the way back to ship. If you die, this allows the person at the ship or one of your partners to collect all the stuff you collected along the way, rather than having it all be lost. It also just generally cuts down on the amount of back and forth trips you have to do, which is great. Tip number 3. Prioritize communication and organization over anything else. Use the walkie-talkies, and after one person has done the scouring and gone back to base, have them stay there and use the camera to guide everyone else. You can see the layout of maps, enemies, scraps, and even get a decent idea of who's dead and who's not. Just don't forget to check your own camera every once in a while. I've died to those eyeless dogs sneaking up on me one too many times. Lethal Company is one of the most fun games I've played in a good while and gives me hope for the games industry. I've been on a content drive for a good while, hoping for something good to play to turn up, and finally I have something that me and my friends can have fun with. It just goes to show that the best games don't have to come from AAA productions, but can instead come from indie developers. Anyway, thanks for watching, as per usual. Please subscribe, like, comment, whatever. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.